Draven is one of the hardest snowballing champions in the game. One early kill can be all you need to win, and in this Draven guide you get everything you need to know in less than 5 minutes. Draven's power curve is heavily skewed towards the early game, as he cannot outscale late game hypercarries, but instead has to rely on his lane dominance to close out games quickly. In order to fully take advantage of Draven's early power, he is best paired with support champions who have good lane pressure themselves, or who can create openings for all-in fights. Swain, Renata and Blitzcrank are all excellent partners, just to name a few. Not only is Draven very good at getting kills during the early game, he also gets a bigger payoff than other marksmen due to his passive. Yes, I know, this passive effectively reads last hitting and scoring kills is good, so do that, but you would be trying to do this anyway. What's the big deal? Well, this passive is a huge incentive for both junglers to hard camp the bot lane, since your own jungler wants Draven to cash in, while the opposing jungler wants to kill you to take away your stacks. Whenever you play Draven, you have to be prepared for a huge bot lane fiesta because of this. Draven's Q amplifies your auto attacks with massive bonus damage, and since you can have multiple axes spinning simultaneously, this spell by itself will win pretty much all early game trades for you. It is absolutely vital for Draven's game plan that you keep your axes spinning at all times, since the enemy will be able to capitalize should you accidentally drop them. As long as you keep catching them, however, the enemy must respect your all-in potential, and their options in lane will be highly limited. Make sure though that you avoid letting your axes bait you into enemy skill shots, since they can make your movement very obvious to your lane opponents. Draven's W is another spell that is perfect for bursty all-in trades. The movement speed is crucial to get into auto-attack range, so the enemy won't simply be able to kite away from you, and attack speed is one of the most valuable combat stats during the early game in general, since many fights come down to a 1 auto-attack difference at that stage of the game. Your E can also be used during all-ins to further disrupt your enemy's movement or attacking patterns. Hard crowd control on a basic spell is an extremely rare trait for an AD carry, giving Draven an innate early advantage when dueling other marksmen. Your ultimate is Draven's best tool for teamfighting, but it is obviously also a strong finisher in 1v1 situations. You should always recast this spell just before it hits its target, so the axes reverse their direction inside the enemy, causing them to take both hits at once with no chance for them to dodge. Naturally, you want to enhance your early game power as much as possible for more consistent snowballing. Therefore, your best rune page is Hail of Blades, Taste of Blood, Eyeball Collection and Ingenious Hunter, with Triumph and Legend Bloodlines secondary. Once more, attack speed is everything in early duels, and Hail of Blades is the most explosive option you can take to amplify this. This keystone allows you to burst down your target before they can even react by throwing 3 spinning axes at them in rapid succession. You do this by having 2 axes spinning already, and then casting Q a 3rd time once you start auto-attacking, so the first axe is in mid-air already and does no longer count towards your 2 axes limit. Taste of Blood and Triumph are also very strong early game, allowing you to overpower your lane opponents, and Eyeball Collection and Legend Bloodline are fairly standard choices for pretty much any marksman. But you are probably wondering about Ingenious Hunter. This rune actually greatly increases Draven's damage output, and in order to see how this works, we must have a look at your item build. Of course, Draven also wants to have the strongest early game items, and the best component item in the game by far, not counting the overpowered subscribe button, is Serrated Dirk. You always want to rush this before building towards your first full item, which is Essence Reaver, and Essence Reaver is the big payoff for the rune Ingenious Hunter, since Draven can trigger Essence Reaver's Spellblade pretty much on cooldown with his W. Your W spell resets after every axe you catch, so you can effectively spam it for massive bonus damage, taking full advantage of a low cooldown Spellblade effect. Afterwards, you upgrade your Serrated Dirk to Eclipse and buy Berserker's Greaves. Eclipse further adds to your all-in burst damage, and it benefits from Ingenious Hunter's item haste as well. From here, you start transitioning into the late game with Lord Dominic's Regards. However, if you are snowballing hard and are extremely far ahead, buying Collector instead here can be viable too. Rule of thumb though, if the lowest level enemy champion is level 9 or higher, Lord Doms will already be better than Collector due to base armor level scalings. Since you are now at 40% crit chance, you can buy Infinity Edge next item, getting yourself to 60% crit, unlocking Infinity Edge's bonus damage. For your last item, I recommend Bloodthirster, since Draven's Q fully benefits from Lifesteal. Lifesteal is also one of the best stats for dueling, and Draven is a duelist by nature of his kit and should be played as such. Obviously, a huge aspect of Draven's gameplay are your mechanics and your micro, but you can learn from the best Draven players in the world by clicking the link on your screen right there.